And you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyo Sarati is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now.
Yeah, so ultimately, so many games played last night, so many games we did see, so many games out there, so many news about sports and world, so many things we should be anticipating for on this day. I think we look into the game where we see, a Chelsea side falling apart in the Champions League, and the Chelsea side knew nothing about what stormed them yesterday against the Lades, and I saw that very game and I'm like, yes, this is the way Paladino needs to get the result right. It's a very different time. Welcome, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. You're watching Voice of the People Television, and it's time for the Sports Republic show. We start out with the Champions League games that was played yesterday, the highlights, and then we bring to you all of the games and the previews and the reviews and the analysis of all of those Champions League things that you saw yesterday. And also, in the course of the show, we'll talk about the Formula One world, Caroline news, the tennis world, Alcaraz also making a way for himself. We'll go into the boxing world, talk about Jake Paul, and then Anthony Joshua coming up. Eddie Hender's got a lot to say. But quickly, let's talk about the Champions League now. What happened yesterday? The results out there, the games played out there. You see for yourself. Now, look at your screen. You have it. Karatamati, we did see this one going very well for the Greek side. The Greek Kings, Olympiacos 1-0 against Karatamati. And Bayern Munich, that man is just 17, Carl, getting the result. 3-1 against Sporting CP. Sporting Lisbon were ahead. Later on, the Bavarians, Vincent Company, turned the tie around. Now moving, we saw Atalanta 2-1 in Bergamo against Chelsea. Chelsea felt like they were the better side, but just could not pay off. Monaco 1-0 against Victor Osimhen, Galatasaray, and Union SJ 2, Marseille 3. Greenwood also on fire. Athletic Bilbao will be playing the Europa League, but Atletico de Madrid yesterday as well, 3-2 against PSV Eindhoven, and that was a game that was played away from home in the Netherlands. And then looking at the result as well, we'll go back to those results and you'll see more. Now, Inter Milan against Liverpool, and the slot side got it right. Dominic Szoboszlai with a goal. And the big one we saw also was Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur trainer Son Heung-min was present, and then he said a word to the fans after his move to LAFC. Now we move 8 to talk about Carl. Now he's just 17. Look at this boy. 17-year-old Leonard Carl becomes the youngest player in the Champions League history to score in 3 consecutive games. That's absolutely incredible for a young boy of his age. And we look into the highlight of the Champions League and give you more pictures out there, more stories the way unfold. Now, this is the hero, Son Heung-min. We saw him and his mural yesterday. The legend was welcome, and the new mural near Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and he spoke to the fans ahead of the Champions League game. And good for them that they won the result. They got it right against Slavia Prague, who are the Czech Republic Kings. And Tottenham Hotspur are now a side you could say you should be watching out for in the Champions League for now. But this is Son Heung-min. How he looked good yesterday, his outfit's amazing. Looking at the style of, the question is who's styling Son Heung-min? I saw the mural and he felt happy to be back. But Mason Greenwood is on fire as well. Mason Greenwood for Marseille in all competition this season. 20 matches, 13 goals and 4 assists. That's how it is in the Champions League and for Mason Greenwood. And the show is served. Ticatelere, Ederson, Darun, Ademola Lookman. Just keep naming those guys. They were the better side and they stole the show against the champions of the world. Chelsea lost away from home in Bergamo to Atalanta, and Atalanta say 2-1. Goal from Skamaka, and then the Ketelere scoring the goal was all to be celebrated. But for Liverpool, this man has been extraordinary for Arne Slot, the Hungarian international Szoboszlai, with the penalty, well converted, well struck against Inter Milan, even though Jan Sommer had some ball saves. But it was a controversial game, and we saw some of the things that the referee said, no, it's not a penalty. That Konate's goal, the Florian Wirtz's push, and, all of those ones disqualified for the first one. But it wasn't long that this man you have on your screen, Dominic Szoboszlai, found his rhythm and found the back of the net and made it 1-0 in favor of the Liverpool side. Now, Victoria, this is about Football Club Barcelona. Looks like a hit and start. Okay, now, the game is great to talk about. Barcelona, Rashford came from behind, and then how did they do it? 1-0, they lost. They were losing the first time against Eintracht Frankfurt, and Just Conde is scoring 2 goals in 3 minutes. I saw that very game, and I said, yes, Rashford has still got something involved, and he just might be part of the World Cup for the Three Lions. Good news for Barcelona, getting the results at home right there at Camp Nou, and winning Eintracht Frankfurt in that very game. So let's celebrate Barcelona. But for Bayern Munich, another game, another victory. Vincent Kompany team can't be stopped. They are like a star we should be looking. Some are saying they're the favorite of the Champions League talk. So if you look at Bayern Munich, you know they are good to go. And with the style of play that they have with this young teenager who is just 17, Karl Leonard, he's a man to be talked about, and he's just a teenager we should also beckon for and see how it goes. So Vincent Kompany and his team, they are doing well. But it continues today. The Champions League, now you have on your screen, they meet again. It's a contrast. Let's say this. Let's start from down. Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham. There's been this controversial talk in the England field of play. Some are saying Jude Bellingham shouldn't get a start at the World Cup. Phil Foden should start. Some say Bellingham can play together with Foden. So it's a lot of job for Thomas Tuchel. We look into that game. So tonight, it's a day where both players, both Englishmen, would have to show themselves to the world, and let's understand who is preferable to be playing in the national team, or should they start together? Time tells. So you have Foden, you have Jude Bellingham, and also Gianluigi Donnarumma will be playing against Real Madrid. He's man on the post for Pep Guardiola, and then Thibaut Courtois, the man who has been the savior for Real Madrid lately, will be seeing both goalkeepers, world-class goalkeepers actually, doing what they know how to do well, what they know how to do best at Santiago Bernabeu tonight. And what's the big one? Kylian Mbappe, Haaland. And this is the Ballon d'Or chase for me, if you ask me. And I tell everybody, Mbappe is in the news for winning this Ballon d'Or. Vitinha also is there. You cannot rule away the Norwegian. Haaland, his goals are incredible, and how far he's come, looking at his age and what he has conquered in fewer games than the rest of the legends. And you can say tonight is a very big night. Real Madrid, Manchester City, star match of the day, the must-watch game. Everybody will be seeing and wanting to wait to see. Now, you look at this and you have some of those games, some of the stars, some of the records out there. Who will be getting it right? But if you ask me, I'll tell you, now Real Madrid are not looking so good. Xabi Alonso is in the story. He might be sacked. Some of the board members of the Santiago Bernabeu don't like him. They feel like he does not have what it takes to manage a Real Madrid set of boys and the quality. But regardless, he's a Spanish international. We've seen him handle teams like Leverkusen, and how far he's come with a short time. Maybe, just maybe, he might find a way today. But you're playing against one of the best coaches in the world, if not the best manager at the stands. And he's got a quality team. Ryan Czech is on fire. Tijani Rangers is there. Jeremy Doku is amazing to watch. No disrespect to the Vinicius and the Rodrigo and the rest of them. But on paper, if you ask me, I'll tell you, it should go Man City's way, because they look to be the better side by form-wise. Like for like at this point in time, Real Madrid is quite struggling. Jermaine is not really on his A game. Militao is out injured. So it's a big game to be looking out for tonight. But one thing Mbappe has always done for himself is the individual brilliance. So we see how that goes. And these are the games for today. So both the first 2 games you have on your screen, early kickoff 6:45. We're starting Karabakh of Azerbaijan. We're playing against Ajax Amsterdam, while Villarreal will be welcoming Copenhagen. Athletic Club will be hosting Paris Saint-Germain, and then Borussia Dortmund will be welcoming Bodo Glimt of Norway. So we'll be seeing good games. Benfica of the Premier League South Portugal, all 9 p.m. will play against Napoli, who are doing so well as well in the Serie A. Napoli of Italy. Club Brugge against Arsenal. Some said it's a walk in the park for Arsenal, but Club Brugge, one of the best clubs in Belgium, Jubilee Pro League, is also anticipating to get the result right. And Juventus will play against Spartans. Well said. David Luiz on the other side. But, you know, talk about Juve, this quality anytime. Well, we'll see the Magpies go away from home to play against Leverkusen, and that will be 9 p.m. Leverkusen will be welcoming Newcastle. Why the night of the night is Real Madrid trading tackle away to Manchester City. So these are the match day 6 for the Champions League games that we'll be seeing come your way very, very soon. Okay, so please don't miss out any of this game. But star match for me, if you ask me, I'll be seeing the Madrid game against City, while also I'll be watching, I'll watch Club Brugge Arsenal, because I want to see if Arsenal will be demoralized with the result against, the Aston Villa. Brand Diaz goal, making that point deducted now. So 2 points adrift, Man City adrift just in the Premier League. So let's see if Arteta can turn it around today, and if he does, then kudos to them going away from home. But on paper, if you ask me, they are a good side. But also don't forget the Napoli game away from home to Benfica is another one. Mourinho playing against the sides he knows so well. Napoli quality team. They got Lobotka, they got McTominay, they got Ankisa, who's injured at this point. Rasmus Højlund, Neres, quality. And then we see how it pans out tonight. But away from the Champions League, let's talk about something that I need to bring on the radio and on the TV better word as well. I talked about it on the radio and I said on TV, I'll say it. Now, this is what it is. It's crucial. We've been talking about it for every media houses, radio station companies. We've been seeing this one out, and then the talk is just out. You cannot hide it. There's a news about fraudulent action, embezzlement of money, something stolen, and something that makes it not show in the prompter is what we're talking about at this point in time. Now, trying to fix it, can Nigeria try to fix their own? It's more like you're trying to fix the prompter which is not showing. But regardless. Okay, now you have on your screen, former Chinese Sport Minister Goh Zhongguang sentenced to death for corruption and embezzling of 33.4 million from 2009 to 2024. Now, the last statement is my point. That's around the same amount of money that has been left unaccounted properly by the Nigerian Football Federation in the last decade. And I will say it and I will say it again. It would be very hard for me to have or to see or to talk about one man who you can say are my friends. I don't like the way Nigerian football is really going. Now, former Chinese Sport Minister, you already have on your screen, sentenced to death. I'm not saying the NFL should be sentenced to death, don't get me wrong. But my point is this. 33.4 million US dollar from 2009. That's why sometimes I like it away from home. How do they set record? How do they get database? See, this is 2009 and 2024. You can check it out. You can know how much and how long it's been, years and counting. You could say months and counting. And all of its dates, we now saw this. The news is out there. Sentenced to death. Now, the Nigerian football, this should be likened to Nigerian Football Federation, embezzlement of money. We talked about what happened in Morocco when we were playing against our Cape Verdean side. We won the game, and it wasn't long. We had Congo to play. Now, all of these NFF dignitaries who made a move from Nigeria to Morocco, we knew it was a private jet. They were playing music and money embezzled. Nobody's giving account of this. Nobody's questioning them. They are that so strong. So now maybe they talk and say, I not see anybody. See, before I came here, I was having a chit-chat with a friend away from the set. And I said, I have never seen any federation. I've never seen any. See, these people are so strong and so hardened that they just believe that this is the time. Let's cash out. Let's park this money. Let's just do what we need to do. That's how bad, that's how corrupt our sport is. 2009 to 2024, it sings a whole lot of praise. Now, if you check database, do we even have a database? We talked about Christian Choko, who is late today, the chairman, 1980 Nations Cup winner. He once managed the Super Eagles. We know his job in the Rangers field. Now, they said he was old before he died. He came out to say, I need my money. I think was Sanusi, His Excellency, Secretary General of the NFF, coming out to say, show us your proof. And see, this is a legend of the game. Now he's late. Did they pay the money at the end of the day? Taribo West said, I've lost count of how much I was owed. Now look at people or set of people or cultural way of people understanding. 33.4 million. If we check our NFF and what the governor and what the president rather has said and how much is cleared the bill for 2021, all of this money, how come? Who should be held accountable for this? It should be the federation. They are not making it right. But look at this news. A Chinese man, former Chinese sport minister. So this man has been on this field with his colleagues. They've been embezzling the money, and then they felt like there's no time to end this. But a day came. We are still waiting for the day that would ever come. Man, not go talk say a day that will ever came. Man, not go make sense. Not gonna make sense. We are waiting for the day that we are going to hear news like this. See, let's even put it right. On a very, very good day, if it's the federation that's organized, if you understand what I'm saying, for the fact that we didn't make it to the World Cup, it's a big, big blow for us. Now, I would have loved to see, I would have seen, by the word, people who come out to say to the media and talk to the people and say, yes, we are sorry, Nigerians. We are very sorry we failed you. This is the second time consecutively we resign. Pen to paper and integrity and dignity stands out, and we will sing their praise because they failed on the job. So what is the criteria for them to still be on the job? Not disbanding. They are still living very okay. We are waiting for the Afcon. I will tell you a news that will shock your mind because it's more like a federation that is so shameful. That's what it looks like. But aside that, let's go to the next phase and talk about one man, Ivorian player, the youngest best player in the last Afcon. Eric Chell, this is like a letter. You need to own your game. You need to make things right. Don't let people control you because I said it and I will say it again. If you fail, if you lose out, they will put you to blame and they will sack you. This NFF not get brother, they not get sister, they not they look your feet, they not even they see you. That's what they do. They are so united that they can't be disjointed. Do you understand? Now, let's look at the news where we saw the young player of the tournament, Simon Adingra. I will show you so you know. Even if you don't know the name, you can record with the face. Now, this is Adingra. The young player of the tournament at the last Afcon, they hosted it. You can see his medal. They won Nigeria. You can see the trophy with him right there. He has been dropped for defending, by the Ivorian MFA. Now, why was he dropped? Not really doing so well. Who was he replaced with? He was replaced by Wilfred Zaha, or with Zaha rather. Now, you look at this federation, you understand that it's about your gameplay. Is it even let's even assume this. If Victor Osimhen wasn't playing well, he can't drop him. Personally, if you ask me, I'm looking for that coach that can look at the team and give those that deserve the call-up a call-up. Bring those ones that have what it takes to be in the national team. I think Guy's not a bad player. We saw him at Brighton, quality player. We saw him now plays for Sunderland, even though he's not really been an integral part of the start. But how do you drop your youngest best player? Not a bad news because the coach, MFA, who happened to be part of the board under Gasset, now took over the job and turned things around. So Adingra is not part of the Ivorian team. Can we see this kind of a thing happen in Nigeria? It's very impossible. It's so hard. Okay, let me give you an example. Paris Football Club, Moses Simon. Let's assume he's not even playing well. Let Osimhen on the sideline. If he wasn't playing so well, I'm talking about Moses Simon, we will still have to take him to the Nations Cup. Because it feels like some set of boys or set of players are the basic players in the national team. Are we ever going to see the call-up with a very good criteria and a well-deserved one by Eric Chell? Up to date, we are still yet to hear the news of the players who will be making that 28th cut. And at the end of the day, there will be a turnaround. But let's look into another news. It's redemption time. And the man we should be talking about now, I used to be a fan of this man while I was playing football. But now, no, I'm no more a fan of Tijani Babangida. Just so you know, Tijani Rangers, the man who plays for former AC Milan player, currently Man City player, his name is Tijani Rangers. That man, oh, that's a picture out there. You have him. Yeah, you have them. Now, this young man, I'm talking about the Dutch man you have on the other side with Tijani. He was born, and while he was born, or when he was giving birth to rather, he watched this man play. Now, his parents loved Tijani Babangida, that they don't even know the meaning of Tijani, and they had to rename their son with Tijani, who was a king in Amsterdam at that point. And then that's Tijani Rangers. And what happened? Babangida now is among the NFF. So when I say he's not my friend again, I mean I'm not a friend to any of them in the federation now. Ikpeba, Babangida, Iguavon, all of these guys who play the game to a high level, that I felt they should have been the one to trick the team, or rather make Gusau, the NFF president, know some things that he's not been doing right. But money now, water for their side. So they know how to, so you can't break them. That's just what it is. But what is going on now? Tijani Babangida has given the current set of the players in Nigerian national team a special charge ahead of the upcoming Afcon, saying it is a redemption time for Nigeria. Tijani was particular about the fact that the players could not take Nigeria to the World Cup for the second straight edition run in hands. His verdict that they have to win the Afcon as a consolation for their fans. Now, while considering that he never thought the star-studded squad would fall to DR Congo, my place, in the qualification playoff last month, the former Ajax Amsterdam player, the speed star, stressed that this time is when we have to take and make amends. He stressed that nothing short of clinching the fourth African title after the final on January 26 would atone for the nightmare that Nigerians had to suffer on account of the World Cup lack of commitment to the qualifiers. But moving on, I need to quote Tijani. Lastly, he said, I think that after the unfortunate experience of missing the FIFA World Cup back-to-back, that's the champion. I'll talk about that. I'm liking that one. That's him. Quite young, speedy player. You can't stop him when he was playing. He's so speedy. He was so good that people had to say he's just that pacey. You could save with him. He's just a man that runs. He's got pace. He's got quality during this time. We saw him at Latin Night as well. Finidi George left and then he replaced. Perfect replacement. We don't see this kind of replacement anymore in the setup. Look at Tijani. Look at how young he is at that point in time. But he said, I think that after the unfortunate experience of missing the FIFA World Cup back-to-back, it's still very painful to digest this reality. However, the next target is the Afcon. That's what he's saying, which can be used to redeem the image of Nigerian football. And he says for NFF, the players and the stakeholders, all we have now is the Afcon. So we have to do everything we can to win the tournament. Now, winning the Afcon is big goal. Let's be factual. Do your mathematics very well. Today is the December 10th, right? Now, how many days counting? 11 days to go for the big tournament, the biggest mondial of African football, where African countries will be coming together as one. Morocco will be bringing everyone to Marrakesh, to Rabat, to Casablanca, and you look at those games and you're asking the question, where is Nigeria? But let me tell you, let's shift it and talk about one man, World Cup winning player. But look at the group now. We start from the Group A of the Bears and then how it goes. The Group A looks quite interesting. Comoros is also there. But if you look at this group generally and ask me which of them is the toughest, I don't want to believe they're toughest group anymore on the African football shows. But if you ask, we'll have a response. Maybe I could say, I think the Group B for me. Yeah, I think the Group B for me looks quite hard for me. But for Nigeria, we should say Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria will just get it right. But we can't say that because the way we played, look at the last World Cup qualifiers. How many countries were there that looked so big? Zimbabwe was there, Lesotho was there, Benin Republic was there. We still could not dismantle these small teams. No disrespect. Now we have Tunisia, big guys in the team. Uganda, I don't know, Uganda, Tanzania. This one should just be like a walk in the park. But because Eric Chell has not found his footing, it's a big talk. So the Group A to the Group F. This is how it goes for the African Cup of Nations. But let's talk about Emmanuel Petit. France 98 World Cup winner has written off the Super Eagles of Nigeria as title contender heading into the African Nations Cup in Morocco. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I would never be surprised to hear Petit say this. Now, speaking on the tournament, which begins on the 21st of December in Morocco, the midfielder who was part of the 1998 World Cup winning squad of France picks his favorite and dark horses for the tournament. Petit didn't mention the Nigerian team as favorite. Petit rather went on to give the host and gave them the accolade, and he said this is the reason why they will have to win it. He rather went for the host and gave his reasons, citing the current African Footballer of the Year, Achraf Hakimi, as a huge factor. Now, Emmanuel Petit said, when he was asked questions, he said, who are your favorites to win the Afcon? He said, I would say Morocco because of the players they have, and they are playing at home in Morocco. So we have seen some social troubles in the streets 2 months ago. The fight was not far away. Petit said something again I like. He said, we know that football can be very powerful in society to calm down the young generation. The African Players of the Year, the African Player of the Year was Achraf Hakimi. The whole competition would be in Morocco, and that's true. He said, we all know the money and the expectation from the king of Morocco. He picked South Africa as the dark horse of the tournament, owing to the manner in which they've made it to the World Cup, despite having African football giants Nigeria in that group. So if a Petit, who played this game to a high level, who won the World Cup back in 98, I will not forget the squad. The 98 squad, the Thierry Henry, the Trezeguet, the Karen Biot, the Jokaev, Didier Deschamps, Laurent Blanc, Thuram, Lisa Razo, and Zidane, Will Todd. That team was good to talk about. 1998 and counting. Look at Zizou, one from the right, one from the left, and that's how they won the World Cup. He knows this game. You cannot compare or compete with a federation that has poured in so much money revenue-wise on their sector, the section of football and sport generally. If you go to Morocco, you will see Morocco is now a tourism place. We say Paris, Dubai, this day, all those one not their person again. If I want to say I want to go China now, it's okay, now Morocco will go. If you come, say Kizike, come where we want to go, I'll say go Morocco. Or Sato say where we want to go, I'll say go Morocco. Morocco now they rain. Because they've spent in a lot of money in that country. Now look at the federation. When Hakimi was talking, if you followed Hakimi's CAF award winning segment, he gave a lot of reference to Mohammed VI. He said a lot about the federation. He said the president has made here a conducive place for us. They got quality team. And the Serie now he has ordained their team is good to go. They have what it takes. A guide. They can win it. They are like the favorite for me, if you ask me. So we are going to watch out to see if Morocco will do what they want to do for themselves or the officiating. I'm not even talking about the officiating because Morocco has a good team. Now, let me tell you, on the World Cup road, Morocco is a team that people are looking out for Africa. Okay, now, there's no way you talk about the World Cup, you will not be paying as a Nigerian, right? Now, for Nigeria, they missed out of the biggest mondial, 3 nations hosting, and the format is different. We used to have 32 before. We still could not make it. Now, it was easier. 10 African countries, we still could not make it. Now, how much Morocco has poured into their sports cannot be disvalued. It cannot be overrated. You have to look into how much they've spent. And we're talking about a federation that now owes their coach. Now, let's tell you, it's the recent. Nigeria Football Federation reportedly owes Eric Chell. Who is Eric Chell, the head coach of Nigeria? He's been owed 3 months' salary, unpaid wages. Why? Now, according to sports journalist Oluwashina Okeleji, who disclosed the information via his X account on Tuesday, formerly known as Twitter, Chell has not received his salary for 3 months. He kept on posting it. Okeleji noted that Chell has not yet lodged a formal complaint with the NFF. He's not said a word. That's the man you have on your screen. And I said it, we did not make it to the World Cup. His Excellency Ibrahim Musa Gusau should be held accountable for this. If you ask me, I'll tell you. Nigeria coach Eric Chell is owed 3 months' salary and bonuses ahead of the Afcon. The Malian, who led the Super Eagles to the 2026 World Cup playoff, has, however, yet to make an official complaint to his employers, the NFF, about his non-payment of his salary. The revelation comes just 2 weeks before the kickoff. Now, how many weeks to go? We're still saying 2 weeks. And that one is December 21. Eric Chell is expected to submit his final 28-man squad today, being December 10, being Wednesday, appointed in January 2025. The 48-year-old Malian guided Nigeria through a turbulent World Cup qualifying campaign. I will not blame him that we did not make it to the World Cup. I will only blame him for that word he said, voodoo. No voodoo, please, Eric Chell. Correct that statement. There's no voodoo. Congo beat you. They beat you where? My people will beat you. That's Mbuku. Yes, Mbuku, Bakamba, all those names, Mashraku, all those names. Give them. Mabisaka, all of, I like Tozembe. These are the names that won Nigeria. Number 1 is Mbuku. That's my name. Now, although Super Eagles eventually missed out of the World Cup, losing to CAF player final to DR Congo, with Afcon qualifiers, we saw how good they did. Now, with the Afcon approaching, the NFF will be under pressure to settle Eric Chell outstanding payment to ensure full focus within the camp as Nigeria hopes to win their 4th Afcon title. How you expect this country? Right. Let's even say it. Let's say it. How do we expect magic? How do we expect miracle? It's not a miracle service. It's not a crusade ground, though. You want to win the Nations Cup up till date, even in the month of the Afcon, you are still yet to pay your coach. Why Eric Chell is not talking so well, I don't know. Was it, or is it that as a contract is signed that we don't know? Because he showed us all of the paperwork, we saw it, documented. We said this is what it is, free and fair. Why is the Nigerian Football Federation still owing the head coach of the team? We will not play when they go blame coach. Osimhen miss head, they go blame coach. Osimhen, you go be play one pass and not reach Osimhen, they go blame coach. Now you're not making it easy for the Franco-Malian. Pay him his money. 3 months, not be. I don't feel work, but you not pay me now. Pay him. Say why? Okay, now why are they owing him? Why? What's the reason? What's the tangible reason? This now people will say they go Morocco for playoff, go flex. They play with the rush, with the rush. They play Arastar, they play rush. They do video. Come on, I see them. you are still owing your coach, your head coach. How much is even? I think it's $55,000 US. That's what they owe him. That one are money for NFF. You know how much? Well, that's how bad it is. But we are not ready. We don't look ready. If you ask me, we're not ready. If we win the Afcon, we'll do Thanksgiving for Sunday service. If we win Afcon, it does not look. This nation does not look like a nation that is serious about the tournament. Because it sounds like for every given time we fail, more money comes to the account. That's what it looks like. For every time it feels like things are not going well, it feels like there's a move of money moving from bank to bank. Coach of Nigeria, does Eric have to wait for 28 just to name 28 squad out of 54? Do you have to wait for the set date? Well, that's about Nigerian football. It doesn't sound good to be talked about all the time. It's quite tiring. But the news again about Nwabali, the man, I would say, he's just, he used to be our next big thing. Chippa United and Stanley Nwabali, he's a goalkeeper. He's in the news. He might not be part of the Afcon. Nwabali just might be out. Now, guess what? He's 29. He's been in goal for South African star Chippa United since the defeat for Congo. But looking at the way he is now, he's got an ankle injury. He's got, I think, a hand injury as well. Now, Nwabali has been managing this. It's more like Jude Bellingham, who had a shoulder injury. You cannot manage and come to the Nations Cup. You cannot manage it. But can we do without Nwabali? That's why sometimes I always beg Eric Shell, try to rotate your team. Uzoho has been there before. He lost it. Uzoho was 2018 World Cup goalkeeper. You know that, right? Maduka Okoye also was the goalkeeper. At some point, he lost it. He had cyberbully. They call him fine boy when not get people. They say girls like him. They can't talk many things. He had to delete his account. He could not stay. He does not have that mentality to manage the fans. And he was booed, even though he was loved by the ladies. But at this point in time, we have to just maybe go back to who? Maduka Okoye. If there's no Nwabali, there should be Maduka Okoye. But will he come in? He's a good goalkeeper. Top level football with the names, we know. But African football is quite different, you know. But because he's a professional, I believe he can man the post and believe. But there's this thing about Stanley Nwabali. He comes alive in the right moment. He comes big when he needs to appear big. He's got the confidence. He's got the quality. He's huge. He mans the post with all, you know. He knows it's good. That's the word. But Nwabali not be part of this one. Ola Aina is injured. Ekong has retired. Eric Chell has been old. It says a lot about the federation. Nwabali have missed the Orlando Pirates game. He played against Siwelele Football Club. He didn't play. Against Kaizer Chiefs as well. He missed those games. So now the coach is saying, I doubt it. It's looking like he might not make it. I don't think if he will make it. But when I was talking to him, he was confident that he will recover very soon. So Nwabali should be watched. Eric Shell, if Nwabali is not fit enough, I think go beg you, leave him. There's no way to force this thing. If he's not fit enough and he's not good enough, then that was a message from the coach, Vilakazi. He's saying Nwabali doesn't look good. So Eric Shell needs to understand this. You don't force a player to be part of a team. Even though this man waiting for screen, if you ask him a question, Nwabali won't go. Because now Nwabali type, you say, are you okay? Say, I'm okay. Basically, they kill him. Are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? Call the catch him. Are you? I'm okay. I'm okay. That's how it is. Nwabali will not say he's not fit. But the coach has said it. If we cannot listen to Chippa United coach, then who should we be listening to? That's where he plies straight. That's where he spends his time, all of his days. So if you ask me, I'll say it. Please, if Stanley Nwabali, after being checked, is not good enough to go from next week, let's drop him. Don't force it. Nations Cup is big. Even though some fans say even if they win Nations Cup, they are still paying. But I want to believe Nigerians would understand. If Eric Chell can win the Nations Cup, they will forgive him. They don't go sack him. They go leave him for the job. So we hope everything goes on well. Nwabali is the man for the people. We love him. Want to see man the post. Want to believe he's the next big thing. Pesero did so well by bringing Nwabali into Nigerian setup. But time tells if Stanley Nwabali will still be doing the job for the Super Eagles. We have to go on a very quick break. When we return, the show continues. We'll tell them more about the tennis world, and not just tennis alone. We'll tell you about the Formula One and also the boxing news. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back just shortly.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Yeah, that's what it is. Behind the scene with the talk back, man behind the scene. We see NFF everywhere. Yeah, NFF. I think man behind the scene, the producer on the show today is Victor. No, producer is Hafiz Okubanjo. Why on the other side? The man who makes sure the camera looks quite set is Victor. He's an NFF member. He knows this NFF thing. He likes NFF so well. And that's why he had to, do the David E thing before we got onto that phase. But it's a lot to be talked about on the show. And then, yeah, giving you quality sound anyways. Now we look into Alcaraz. The world of tennis is big to look into a man who I love so well. He is a Spanish international. Carlos Alcaraz has been selected as the winner of the 2025 Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award. Winning the honor for the second time, the Spaniard continues to be celebrated for an exemplary behavior on and off the court. The 22-year-old, who first won the award back in 2023, finished this season as the ATP year-end number one, presented by the PIF. He lifted 8 trophies in 2025, including 2 majors. Carlos Alcaraz tallied a season-high 71-9 match record, according to the Infosys ATP Win-Loss Index. Talking about Alcaraz, moving on. One of the African side is also looking at his gameplay, and one of Alcaraz's standout moments of sportsmanship came this year at the Roland Garros, where he called a foul on himself in his 4th-round clash against Ben Shelton. Alcaraz went full stretch for a volley and appeared to hit a clean winner. The point was initially awarded to Carlos Alcaraz, but he immediately alerted the umpire that he had lost his grip on the racket mid-stretch and has made a contact with the ball while it was no longer in his hand. But rule, if you know the game well, by rule, yeah, that meant the point belonged to Shelton. And Alcaraz said the word, said, I would have felt guilty if I didn't say anything about it. So I should celebrate this man. Stefan Edberg Sportsmanship Award goes to the Spanish international Carlos Alcaraz. And then Felix Auger-Aliassime as well. And previous winner Grigor Dimitrov and Casper Ruud were also nominated in this category. Sportsmanship nominees were determined by an International Tennis Writers Association, ITWA, vote. And for the first time, the winner was selected in the vote by members of the exclusive ATP number 1 club. The 29 current and former players to have reached the world number 1. So believe it, take it or leave it. He's a man we should be watching out for. Carlos Alcaraz has come to stay. There's no comparison. He's quite young. Yannick Sinner has really dealt with him a lot in this 2025. We know Italian man, Yannick Sinner is extraordinary in his gameplay. He knows the court very well. But you look at Alcaraz and how far he has come, he's still quite young. I used to call him a teenager before, but now for church category, they call him youth because he's 22. But the Spanish man is a man that we should be looking out for and we should beckon on. And we believe that this man, the sky will not just be his limit, but rather his stepping stone. Now, Carlos Alcaraz is also in the news. And I want to say this. If he continues this way, he will be unstoppable. So I think some of the pressures he have lately is the Yannick Sinner. Let's keep the legend out. The 7th international. He's 36, 24-time Grand Slam champion. Let's keep him out of the side. But looking at how far he has won his trophies and the Roland Garros and also the ATP 1000 event, you could say that the Spanish is good to go. But from tennis to tennis, this one's about gambling, and this is about addiction. And you just want to say no to gambling. Some say we don't like to gamble. There's no need to gamble. Let's stop this. But one lady was optimistic, and she stood her stand, and she took her ground, and she stole the show with her high reading, and her name is Caroline Garcia. She has revealed that she turned down $270,000 US. That's an offer of sponsoring her podcast as it came from a betting company. So because it came from a betting company, she said no. And an industry she did not want to promote. So, how many people could turn this Look at you. Money, money. See, the money is big. 270,000 US dollar convert to naira. Carry your calculator. Nigeria people, men are doing affairs. Men are shaking. She said no because she doesn't feel it's okay to promote this. So it's like a brand, personal branding. Now moving on, betting companies have long been part of sports. But in recent years, it seems you cannot get very far without seeing an advert for the services. True, be told. Now we've seen a lot of players also on the bets. Didi Drogba is there, Yaya Toure is there. JJ Okocha, now why not take and play? I not call their name because they not pay us money. He do even dance. I say, sure. Okocha, I think I can't remember once did one. Yeah, I recall. I don't want to call the names of these brands. I recall. So betting is just part of the system. It's part of the game. Some say it's match fixing. So we've seen ex-international. Victor Osimhen, the one way do not be betting, now we do blue. Understand? Transaction without POS. With POS, that's what it means. But moving on. Talking about Caroline Garcia and why many see them as a way of having fun. Talking about sports world and watching the game. The danger of betting cannot be ignored, with plenty of people becoming addicted and pushing themselves into financial trouble. See, if the thing are the way people they bet, they get hope. You see, that's how our ministers they do, our politicians. I don't know. See, the thing don't even connect. Because that's the reason why Garcia, who hosts Tennis Insider Club, said she and the team rejected a $270K US offer from one of those companies. Now, you know how much is, $270 US is big. $1,000 US is quite big. But I think it's about a lady who has said beforehand that she will not promote anything that has to do with gambling. So because of the addiction, and she knows the kids are watching. So she knows that if I continue this way with my podcast, I've got a lot of followers, they will have to start seeing me the unbranded way. So she's made a mark. Don't get me wrong. Ex-international, Mikel Obijon, Super Eagles ex-player, he won the Nations Cup back in 2013. I think he has one bet on his logo. When he's talking a podcast, you could say his mic. There's this bet company that shows that's about Mikel Obi. But for Caroline Garcia, she said today we turned down $270,000 US sponsoring offer from a betting company for our podcast. And she posted it on social media. Everybody saw it on her channel. She said it's a huge amount of money, especially for an independent sports show. And for me, someone who just retired from pro tennis. But here is why we said no. So she said no, we're not taking that. And that's about Caroline Garcia. Should I give her credit? Well, credit to Caroline Garcia. But we move on to Formula One. Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko will leave the team after 20 years at the end of 2025. The 82-year-old has been an integral part of the Red Bull success, made the team in Form 2005 as they won 6 Constructors' Championship. Moving on, and 8 drivers' titles. Marko, who was the right-hand man for the late Red Bull co-owner, Dietrich Malchitz, has overseen the development of 20 drivers, most notably world champions Sebastian Vettel and then Max Verstappen, with whom the Austrian has a very close relationship with. The statement from Red Bull said, Marko, a former world man, a former Formula One driver, and layman's winner, had decided to step down at the end of the 2025. In the words of Marko, he said, I've been involved in motorsports for 6 decades now. He's quite old, he needs to rest. Yeah, quite old, he needs to rest. He actually needs to rest. He said, I've been involved in the motorsport for 6 decades now, and the past 20 plus years at Red Bull have been an extraordinary one, an extremely successful journey. It's been a wonderful time, and I've been able to help shape and share with so many talented people. Everything we have built and achieved together fills me with pride. Narrowly missing out on the World Championship this season has moved me deeply and made it clear to me that now is the right moment for me personally to end this very long, intense, and successful chapter. Now, it's good to be celebrated, right? And I always like to say it, go when your vision is high. You need to live when the vision is high. You cannot live when you feel like you're going down, when you personally are the detriment of the place. So we must give Marko all of the grades, all of the praises. He has done so well, 6 decades and counting. So when it's time to say goodbye, you go. Just go. Do not put your placenta for that place. Not fit there for the job. You move. Everybody has an expiry date. Bitter truth. You can't end up in some place all of the time, all of your life. You just, at some point, you need to move on. So 6 decades is a long time. But Oliver Mieczysław, who is an overall, I think he's the overall, is the overall charge of the Red Bull Formula One program in his role as Chief Executive Officer of Corporate Project and Investment, said the decision came after a long and intense conversation. So it took him a lot before he said, I'm done here. So we celebrate Marco Harcourt. I'm liking the name. But lastly on the show today, the big one is coming December 19th, while we wait for the Nations Cup December 21. Many cynics have questioned the legitimacy of Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. If you follow the show vividly every day, you will understand that there's no day that goes by that we don't talk about the boxing world, the biggest one coming up, the recent, where we'll see Anthony Joshua debating against that Jake Paul. YouTube, social media influencer, he's a social media man. So on the social media road, people want to see, Jake Paul do something right. But arguing that it's hard to imagine Joshua, a former two-time world heavyweight champion, being permitted to simply blast out of the YouTuber at the first opening. Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn reacts to those accusations via the stopping ground. And the question is there a script? He said, yeah. There is a script. We come out and try to knock him out, clean out cold as soon as possible. Eddie Hearn said, and by the way, firstly, it's illegal to have a script when there is a professional, right, sanctioned contest. 2, we would never involve in an exhibiting fight. Do you think I would sign up to something that might make AJ look bad or go for multiple rounds? No, that's the word. We want to go in there, do a job for boxing, which is what we should be doing, which is ironing this guy out as soon as possible. Back to me, I tell you, this one is crucial. Anthony Joshua is not sleeping. I think I should be doing the publicity for them as well. Please, it's not a scripted fight. If you say script, Eddie Hearn said, the script is for us to beat this man. Have you ever imagined a cruiserweight champion? Have you ever imagined a YouTuber, social media person? Because they can't get, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking side. But I just cannot imagine it for Anthony Joshua to lose to Jake Paul. It will be so bad for him. He should also remember Chisora is watching, Dillian White is watching, Tyson Fury is watching, Usyk is watching, the world is watching, and that's in Florida come December 19th. But I wish both fighters all of the best in the bout. Whoever comes out alive, congratulations to you in advance. But thank you so much. It's time for us to go. The NFF man is saying we should go. NFF man is just somewhere. NFF man connected to the producer. Thank you so much to everyone behind the scene, making the show a worthwhile moment, and also to you watching away from the studio. Thank you so much for being part of the Sports Republic show. We have the media news coming up next. And don't forget to join the guys later by 5 p.m. The locker room, Jerry Apelwai, NFF friends. And, just connection. They'll be here to tell them more. Thank you. Up until then, we'll see you again. Have yourself a very good time. It's the morning. Good morning. But for the afternoon time, good afternoon.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV.